All right, welcome to the program. My name is Dr. Mankota. You are watching the TPN TV and radio network coming to you from the United States. Well, I just want for welcome everybody once again. Today, Saturday, as always, the 19th of August, 2023, and as we all know, every Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Time or Arizona Time, we get um, a program. Today we can discuss about one very important topic where I want for make we do. You know what? Let me discuss the first topic. We go to the main topic. Okay, is it? Niger. Okay, let's do it Niger first. Let's discuss Niger. Is it Niger? Yeah, let's discuss Niger first. All right, hold on, let me see. Yeah, when they come to the ambassador, so let's discuss Niger first. Well, if you just join me, let me just send some of the information to then different group here, and we will start the program as soon as possible. Join me. Let me just send some. Hold on. Let me just. Today's program again will be very very interesting as always because we get forget so many controversial topics. Then we want you where they watch we or they listen to we from the radio for make you put your input because it will able help we for make we able learn from each other. As always, this program na interactive program where everybody is welcome for giving your own contribution because it's all about Sierra Leone, right? So that's not the situation where um, we get for can discuss. Waiting at the topic for today, we get two topics. The first one get for do with the Niger issue. Um, some of una way been they watch this program for sometimes now after the situation in Niger. When I know say we been don't talk about this topic for sometimes, and the reason where I've been telling her for same the reason why we they cover this topic is it just get for calm affect Sierra Leone one day. Well, the time don't reach for make we know say the Niger issue is now affecting Sierra Leone directly, and why? Well, let me finish what I do, then I go give you now the reason why I believe say this it get for affect you if you get person na the army or you get friends or relative na the army. It could be one of those way they get for send na Niger. So you see how it affects Sierra Leone. Can I finish this thing? Yeah. All right. So we know say on the 26th of July, the Niger army, headed by one army way in at the head of the presidential guard, Tiani, he overthrew the president, the elected president, Mohamed Bazoum. So it brings a lot of problem within the West African region because ECOWAS are threatening for intervene militarily, and there are other stakeholders where themselves they involved and say, well, if ECOWAS overthrown, then the effect at the side of the military hunters. As the discussion been go on, as we already don't know, would have been done discussed this long. It became very clear that this is a regional problem. That was the reason why I decided for cover the Niger issue. Let me just go back. Yeah, that's why I've been decided for cover the Niger issue, because I know say as long as it is becoming a regional issue, it will likely affect Sierra Leone. Well, quite recently, as some of you don't know, the president of Sierra Leone, His Excellency, former Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, tell we say it will send troops on behalf of ECOWAS if ECOWAS ready for go invade Niger. It will send troops. Well, the question where I get where you see now the screen. So, do you really support President Bio sending troops to Niger? That's not the question where I want to make we answer today. Well, I will give you your opinion, and they bring Mr. Cabo when the commentator for giving your opinion. Then your opinion, you can either put now the comment section of the platform where they watch way from, or if you want for call directly for make you talk to him. Now the number this one, you see the number on the screen, 480-409-4001. That's not the number. Okay. Comment on Facebook and YouTube. And as you they watch we, please, we want for make you subscribe, because the more we get people for subscribe, the more we able to expand this program where they benefit a lot of people every weekend. Okay, so do you subscribe, and also please share the program, because sometimes me and share, they reach everybody, because the contact where you get sometimes me not get them. So if you're able to share to them contact them, then people in there then will become aware of this program, and then go training every time. Okay, you can share on Facebook, YouTube, or WhatsApp, because well, even TikTok or Instagram, if you did it, share the program, then go able for access them. People with a broadcast in 4 different platforms. With the broadcast now we website where now it in at the screen, the tpnradio.com, that is our website. If you go there and click live, you will able to see TV, click on, you will able to watch way from there, or you go watch way from Facebook and YouTube. Then you go also watch way from Caster, where you go to caster.net. It's spelled castre.net. castre.net. So these are the platforms where we the broadcast from. Anywhere you want for watch, you go able to watch with. Now, why I ask this question for say if you the support the president for send troops to Niger, I want your opinion too. Not just wait from your opinion. I can give you your opinion, but I want your opinion. So do you put your comment? Okay. Now we know say as a country within a bloc, that is Sierra Leone, we get treaties where we countries sign, and we are obligated for make we able to fulfill them treaties then they. That is very clear. We are obligated for contribute to ECOWAS for the implementation of economic security of the 15 ECOWAS countries. Because the purpose of ECOWAS, as the name suggests, it's more of an economic bloc. Yes, we been done also use ECOWAS for use some kind of a limited military force. For example, in Liberia, under the subset where we call ECOMOG, in Sierra Leone also, and briefly, we've been one for use a military force in Gambia after the election, after Yahya Jammeh refused for left power after he don't congratulate Barrow. So these are the instances then we don't actually contribute. Sierra Leone actually contributed forces to ECOWAS. Okay. Now, having said that, we all get to understand, say, there is no external bilateral relationships where they impede the national interests of the country. Even though, yes, we get it right for send troops in Niger, but it is optional. It is not obligatory. It is optional. Now, if this is the case, we look at the current situation in the country, then we were able to make a very informed determination for see whether indeed we have the money, because when you send troops in other country, you need to pay them. ECOWAS not get money by itself. Okay? ECOWAS money we can get for use. Now, contributions of those countries that are going to send the troops for support the troops. Okay? So, but looking at the current economic situation at the country, in my own opinion, I don't think say a very wise for Sierra Leone for send troops in Niger. Now, look at the topic where we talk, I think was last week, the drug addiction, where don't they overcome the country? We get a national emergency. Okay? I want to make with people that know that say Sierra Leone gets a drug national emergency. Now, how we go able for fix that? Well, we know say we get limited resources, right? Let we try for manage and prioritize them resources then they to things where if we spend them, it go directly benefit the people of Sierra Leone directly. At this time, I don't think say it wise for send the armed forces. We go able to use that the armed forces then them for other national priorities where we able yield benefits for that country there. But why Maada Bio want for doing? I have no idea. Maybe you get an idea. Okay? I don't get no idea why Maada Bio want for send troops to Niger. But besides that, look at the geopolitical complexity of this issue. It's very, very complex. Why? Because number one, you are not going to fight Niger military alone. Just today, Burkina Faso and Mali, then don't send military jets to Niger. Just today, in preparation in case the ECOWAS invade. Within the region itself, not to everybody, not to every country supports a military intervention in Niger. Now that make now few countries that actually, I think it's about 7 countries, where then some countries then prefer diplomacy. Few countries, I think about 7 or 8 countries now, they actually want for make military force. We use military force. Even AU, the African Union, then they against the use of military force. To them, they believe say it exacerbates the problem. Why? When the military be overthrown, it was a bloodless coup. Okay, that's number one. Now, if they go with military force, that definitely is going to be bloody. The innocent people are going to be caught up in the middle. Okay? We're not down no more. If they go attack 3 countries, remember, 3 countries, the one the way they don't decide, well, actually, 3 countries, the one the way they don't decide, say, then go fight on the side of the Niger military hunters. Those people are also professional armies, professional fighters. Then besides that, since the first time when Nigerian President Tinubu make, or ECOWAS make that threat for say, then they give 7 days. If the military hunters not return power, then they invade the country. The military hunter begin to recruit thousands and thousands of Nigerian for incorporate them into the army for make them defend their countries. And up to this time, thousands of people and they come every day for can register in case there is any kind of a military intervention. Then go hold gun for feds. Just look at that bloodbath we get for happen. Well, put that aside. Why the ECOWAS wants for invade Niger? Why? I know see a lot of people that know why, but most people they don't know. You understand? We don't talk about this a couple times now. This program, they are not doing it for the sake of democracy, because definitely, ECOWAS invade Niger. Mohamed Bazoum, when in the deposed president, in life a day in danger. Well, if they kill that man, would that then get for can restore the power? Would that? So this particular stuff, this particular effort, is not about democracy. The military junta already don't form a 21-man civilian government headed by a prime minister. Okay, so what's not the best way for do? For try find a way so that a diplomatic solution will be achieved. But when you put first the mistakes where ECOWAS been what them call, when them put first the threat of force, it actually make everything difficult, because now the military hunters, they're not going to believe them again. They're not going to believe, say, they're sincere for diplomatic resolution towards this problem. So, well, look at also whether they be in this particular ECOWAS military force. Now, France, about a week ago, France sent Senegal a huge cargo full of weapons. For what? Because they want for use Algeria. Algeria say no, they allow for make you can use we country for conflict with neighbor. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, you come out. Then now you don't create a permanent enmity between Niger and Algeria. So Algeria says no. Then go to Chad. Chad said no. Okay? They say no. So this is going to be nasty if ECOWAS not take time. And for put Sierra Leone forces in the middle of that is not a wise decision at all. Let's support morally and support the diplomatic route, which is the best route. But if there is going to be a military intervention, Sierra Leone should not put our forces in that kind of situation. It cause problem. Now, let's bring in Mr. Kabo. Mr. Kabo, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mankocha, and thank you, listeners and followers. Yeah, the situation is very controversial. The Niger situation is very controversial. Um, Anywhere you stand and look at it, you will see the other side of it. And if I go with the rhetoric that when nature is left unchecked, and when nature checks itself, it will cause a big eruption that will not be able, that cannot be controlled. That is to say, that in the world we have surveyors, we have a projectors who go about looking at certain formation of the earth and so on and so forth, the seas, the mountains, the hills. If there's eruption or magma forming somewhere, trouble is coming. Sometimes they detect it. But in this case, the issue of the francophone countries and that of the France, the relationship was never checked. And now I believe the youths have come to check it, and the eruption is going to be very bad. So having said that, I'll come to ECOWAS. And from the get-go, it says Economic Community of West Africa. That is to say, nevertheless, to protect the economy, the well-being of the people of West Africa, in particular to the economy. What is the economy? That the one that facilitates our daily lives, our daily infrastructure, our daily development. Now, but my question is, were there ECOWAS itself? Well, there are francophone countries anyway, so they are aware. But they never took steps as to the bogus agreement, maybe 150 years ago, that was signed by the francophone ancestors. So, in this case, ECOWAS, I believe they are aware of that, and I'm sure they are aware. So I look at the situation in this way. I see the French president, I mean the French, the post president with French, they are one with the French people. And I see Niger standing on its own and ECOWAS standing on its own. So these three forces are coming together. And now other forces are breaking away from ECOWAS, joining Niger. And this is what I was saying, eruption. And it's going to be nasty if it does happen. Now, but in lieu of this, I believe as ECOWAS, the mediator or the man in charge, I think when such situations happen, the first thing to do, and probably the first and even the last, it will continue up to being the last option, is to negotiate. Is to negotiate with the party.
Yep.
Because I am telling you, this has gone bad, too bad. I will imagine ourselves in Sierra Leone if we have to be paying short monies to Britain, and every year for over 150 years, and anytime we go borrow from our own money, we have to pay interest against that money. And where is our money? Where is the interest we've been paying for so many years? We can't give account of it because it's been held by other so-called authorities. That hurts a lot.
Yeah.
When our kids come up and found out about that, that's a big problem. So it's gone bad. These are long-term agreements. And I don't think we have those agreements again anywhere in the world. And it's more prevalent with the French states, very prevalent in the world with the French states. The people, remember 150 years ago, it's not the same as today. We have new generations. I will prefer the French people to come together and revisit the agreement. We Sierra Leoneans have an agreement with Britain. I know for sure. But it's not as heinous as this one.
Yes, I agree with you.
So let them come together, and the youth say no. The people say no. The new generation, let them come together and revisit the agreement, and then agree where to agree, not to be disagreeable, and work together. If they still want to be contribute to the economy or whatever the francophone countries.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and the UN has made it clearly. I mean, the AU has made it clearly that it's negotiation because it's gone bad and too long. Our people say, case where they lay down for too long, they bring problem. Let them talk and once they lay down. This case don't lay down for long. So this is all I can say. Then, Mr. Mankota, you make mention of the Sierra Leone, the president sending his own contingent to support or contribution to the ECOWAS.
Mhm.
Yes, one you can look at it this way because it's an agreement. He has the right, and as you said, he has to pay them all that we are in a financial setback. Yeah, but even if they are at home, they pay them. Except otherwise, and the monies that are coming, other countries like the Europeans and in fact the French people, they will subsidize as long as to destabilize where they have interest. They will send the money to pay the
Well,
country.
it's
They
not
don't have.
it's not much about the
Yeah,
money. It's about the
right.
life, the
But
life
but again,
cost unnecessarily. You
yeah,
know.
but again, even though they have the right to go, but when it comes to morale and especially what they're fighting for is that about our economy. Then where is ECOWAS? So I will suggest that if they are fighting for economic development, economic advancement in West Africa, the people in the francophone countries, more so Niger, they want that and they never get it. So why are we going to fight them? And that's why we fight. I think we should join arms and nations with them to fight the perpetrator. So we keep our economy stable in Africa, in West Africa.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
So I just want for add to waiting Mr. Kabo said. It is very important. Sometimes I go come na the comments. Please continue for put your comments at the comment section because I don't see some comment that not begin coming in both from the Facebook and YouTube. So put your comments. I will come to them. But here is the thing where I get for saying. First, this is going to be a very difficult task. There is no good answer to this because when a government is overthrown by a military, then it takes 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and that presidency is in the hands of the military. It is almost practically impossible for that government, for that president to come back in power. It's very, very difficult. The negotiation where I believe say probably na Indian they try for negotiate behind the scene, get for do with a timeline, then they try for return the country back to multi-party democracy. That is the suspicion where I get where the military they do. But for bring back that president, I don't think say it likely. So people the way they feel say, well, then they can't restore democracy. They don't really know the complication, the complexity of the situation in Niger. It will be very difficult. And if indeed, like where the military hunter and don't talk, if indeed the ECOWAS try for invade, then they put the life of the former president in danger. Because they will likely say, okay, for say they bring back the person where he is alive. It's a very, very, very dangerous situation. I think say now the reason where I say the United States is actually very be careful. I think this coming week, one of the State Department official, I don't know if now Victoria Newman again, but somebody, one of the high-ranking State Department official, is going back to Niger. United States don't begin realize it will likely be impossible for bring back Mohamed Bazoum. So what in the United States they try for do for make sure say the new government where they don't send, the new civilian government where they don't send, it is still allow the base for the military base, the drone base na Niger for make it stay. So na kind of a very careful diplomatic maneuver in way the United States they do now. Now the reason this up to this time, the United States not announce this na a military coup, because according to the constitution, not the constitution, according to legislation, if the United States announce for say a coup has taken place, by law, they're supposed for withdraw from that country day, then they're supposed for cut all financial aid to that country. And if the United States do it will affect then drone base way then get this. So then they pack up very tight rope, you know. So this is what I think is going to happen. Now, let me say something before I come to the comment. Sometimes there are a lot of people and they talk about, oh, we get for defend democracy. Yeah, we all get for defend democracy. But what is really democracy? Because it seems the way some people, the way they understand democracy, and just say, oh, people that then grab, then go in a ballot box, then go vote for somebody. That is democracy. No, it is not. It is not. That perception is to wipe off in the minds of a lot of Sierra Leoneans there. We believe, the way they say democracy, it has to do with going to election, go vote for the person, and when that person, that's a democracy. Look at the definition of democracy. There is nothing like election. In fact, democracy is not emphasizing election. Because if election is democracy, election process is democracy, then dictators are also democratic, because I think I argue about this now the TPN forum this morning. Because even dictators, then they conduct elections. You go one for say, oh, now state managed election, but they are conducting elections. People go to the polls and vote. So the idea of democracy is tied to election. It's a myth. They say, listen, I define it for you now. They say democracy, it comes from a root word. Demo mean people, kratos mean authority. That is a Greek word. Okay, now a Greek word. Now, how then define democracy? It's a government of the people, by the people, for the people. You see, 3 words, the same words emphasizes 3 times. The people, the people, the people. Now, let me give you a scenario. What happened if people then go to poll, they go vote for somebody where definitely the person get the influence, the person gets the backing of an external force. That person, they sign a contract. Let actually make the analogy to William countries. Like I can see how people them they're sincere. Now, Maada Bio is already been voted as the president. If Maada Bio begin go sign contract where they cause irreparable damage into the countries, they help external forces for exploit the country, then people that know say Maada Bio, they do them can't here, and there is no way where they go able pull Maada Bio, because number one, it get the money. That's number one. It gets external backing. You understand? So it go able to do anything for win election. Do you accept for the military national alone pull Maada Bio? I know say some people then go say no because it's Maada Bio. The APC party, the APC members in this forum then go answer say yes, it's because Maada Bio. The SLPP then go say no, it is Maada Bio. But what happened? For Paul Maada Bio get a popular support. Let me give you an example. The NPRC came to power in 1992. Almost majority of Sierra Leoneans them support the NPRC, not so majority. Okay, if any government will happen at that country today, as long as it get the backing of the majority, no, don't you think the people where the definition of democracy circle around should also be considered as a government? I think yes. Mr. Kabo, what do you think about that?
Yeah, this is a complex explanation.
I know.
A complex situation on democracy. But it takes me back to my school days. I know if I say it, some people say, oh, yes. Like when Macbeth says fair is foul, foul is fair. And that's what democracy is. Just as you made an example, it says the government for the people, of the people, by the people, and for the people. And who are the people? The majority. What about the minority? Because when you become a president, you are voted by the majority.
Yeah.
And those actually are what they consider by the people.
Unfortunately, minority castigated objects in a democratic system. That's
so when the president speaks, he speaks on the standard of the majority that voted for him. And he will say, he has the right to say, my people. Why? Because the majority. But the minority don't have the right to say the people. In general, they can say my party.
Yeah.
Which is concise and precise and to the point. But in Sierra Leone, the minority claims that they have the majority. The people of when they talk, when they do their campaign, or when they're doing their bogus, whatever misinformation, they said the people of Sierra Leone. No, once you are in the opposition, you are not the people of Sierra Leone. You have been absorbed. You have been absorbed by the winning team, and they have the right to call you the people.
By the majority.
The majority. By the majority group. So logically, that's what it is. But again, this is why I come up with this statement: fair is foul. Fair is foul or foul is fair. These people also,
Let me just say something quick. And the unfortunate part here is sometimes the majority itself is not correct, but for the fact that the majority, you have to abide by them.
Right. So everybody now comes on like any other political party. As long as the vote is done, this one is the winning team. That is what they refer to as the people. So Sierra Leoneans don't feel that people are neglecting you. That's just the system. But again, the losers are also human beings, and being losing is foul. When you lose, it's foul, and when you win, you say it is fair. But those who lose feel it is not fair. So you stay in that circle and that kind of thing, and at the end of the day, nobody is wrong and nobody is right. That is why it says fair is foul, foul is fair.
Yeah.
So nobody is right. So we all need to understand and live together, and we can disagree, but not to be disagreeable. And then we live a coexistence type of life. That's all.
So once again, let me try for wrap up before I go to the comments. I know say some people are coming out and say because we have a treaty, so therefore we need for obey the treaty. Yeah, we have a treaty and we need for obey the treaty. But you get for look at what's in the treaty. So even NATO. Article 5 of NATO, where talk say you fight one member, you fight everybody. So therefore, members then they go support that person there. It gets what we call a basement, a foundation. NATO Article 5 say, even though they say you touch one, you touch all, but when you look at the treaty itself, it's left with the member states whose type of support then they give. Now similar treaty where ECOWAS get, where we sign at ECOWAS. You need to go watch that treaty there for make you understand, say, now kind of a similar, because you know, say, every country in financial status or in situation is different. So sometimes if somebody not able for meet certain financial requirement or military requirement, you go for some for say papa do I know that make it is optional. You get certain level of support where you they give. Some people then they give moral support, some people then they give financial support, some people then they give you and they will get the chance for give military support. It's left with the country itself, a member state. So when somebody they talk to him, oh you get for obey, yeah, you get for obey. I don't say make Sierra Leone not obey the treaty. The treaty is very clear. If you want to give military support, now you get that decision there. Not to the ECOWAS chairman get the decision. For say Papa, you get for give support. Now you, the member state, now you they decide say why other countries them. Now the ECOWAS then say no, they know they support military intervention. These are ECOWAS member states. So you see, the treaty is very, very clear. But now we go to the comment. Let's start with Michael Coker. Michael Coker say, I don't personally support sending troops, but since we are a member of ECOWAS and have signed treaties, we should honor all our obligations. I agree. And if you listen to me monologue earlier, that's exactly how I talk. But honoring our treaties and obligation, does it warrant sending troops? No. The treaty not telling you say when they want for go fight, everybody for send troop. No, it is optional. There are so many ways where you support. Within ECOWAS, how many countries there will actually send troops alone through or Liberia through ECOMOG? Not to every country, not ECOWAS. No, because the treaty is very, very clear. So yes, in as much as we get the obligation for make we honor with treaties, we have to do it in a way where they affect the national interest of the country. Because first of all, before you become a president, not to ECOWAS vote for you, and the people of Sierra Leone vote for you. So the first interest has to be the people of Sierra Leone first. Then second, then treaties. Yeah. So I hope say Michael Coker, you understand what I try to talk about. And Michael Coker also say, Doctor, if your position is that our obligations are optional, then why should we be entering into treaties and joining international organizations? Well, I just don't explain exactly the treaties. The treaty, ECOWAS treaty, where we join. I give you another example. NATO, we actually a military organization, and the main treaty is Article 5, where it talks him, if you touch one, you touch all. But when you read the treaty, it is the decision of individual member states whose type of support where they want to give. Okay, so now the same thing with ECOWAS, whose type of support where Sierra Leone want to give, now who they give. Well, if the president decides for send military troops in Niger, I don't know what are the benefits to Sierra Leone. I don't know what are the implications considering the situation they are right now. That's what I'm saying. Mr. Gabo, if you want to come in, just jump in. So,
yeah, you're talking about this treaty. I'm very interested in this treaty, and I believe this will serve us as an example. If we go through this impasse that is taking place in West Africa or Africa as a whole, I believe these treaties, there should be there should be a clause that will call for ratification or revisiting of these treaties every year, or maybe every 2-3 years, or at least a period of 5 years. Because why I'm saying this is these treaties are signed by our leaders in those days. The same thing we're talking about Niger. Probably a treaty signed over 150 years ago. These people were not anticipating what is happening today, what their youths are going to be tomorrow. We are not anticipating that. We only can focus very little. We don't know how the world is going to be, on how our kids are going to grow, how the change is going to come, and how they're going to be feeling. So these treaties have to provide a time frame when the parties have to come together and revisit these treaties and shorten the length of time of those treaties until and unless they are ratified, then they be in place. You cannot sign a treaty for 150 years.
Mr. Gabo,
yeah.
You make a very good point, and that's exactly the problem where Africa then gets. This is the reason why I'm so angry the way we leaders and they do things them. I can understand you talk about Niger and the francophone countries, the treaty we then signed with France. That was a coercion actually. So they blame them too much. Now a coercion. And that make them get the responsibility for squash them treaty then because any treaty where them sign under threat, under coercion. You when somebody come, they can pull out and say no, you bring the coercion and that make us sign this treaty. So that's aside. But look at the treaties them or the contracts they will sign in Africa. Say alone in particular, let me give you an example. Rutile. How many years we signed? 99 years.
That's your government though. That's your government.
Yeah.
99 years.
They said charity begins at home. It's not about the government, it's about the country. You understand? How could you go sign a 99-year treaty or contract? Anything can happen. Sign 10 years contract. So that 10 years there, now during your own regime, now that make if me be president, and they modify some of their legislations and if not legislation, for say no government not get the authority to sign more than a 10-year contract. Especially
term of office, expected time of office.
With national resources. Something we get for do with national resources. 10 years was the constitutional time frame now between 5 and 10 years. What so now in president.
Correct.
So let's sign those contracts within them 10 years and if then another president come, you don't give the latitude for make that president day go able for renew the contract and make them better. But if you go sign that yes. You won't look. Now that make way that people come. That company, that mining company, we minerals no more. Now London mining company, take we minerals no more because they signed too much and unnecessary, a very very anti-nationalistic contract. Maada Bio come in the contract. They say no, this contract is very ridiculous. What's in the people that they get? So it's right for cancel that contract. Then go to Maada Bio in London.
Yeah.
Then go to London. Because
it's not even to say because the expectation of a government or a particular president will say the lifespan is about 10 years. Now let's say he don't win even the 10 years. He can't even sign a 10-year contract. And if he does, it's at the impediment of the country. No, but what I'm saying, what I will suggest, I understand about this treaty is at least the initial 5 years is enough because you don't know even if you are going to be elected the next 5 years. And when you are elected, if you sign a 5-year contract, when you win, then you call the parties back to come sign another 5 years contract. So something like that. Well, living a contract for 99 years, 150 years, my friend.
All right. Let me give you another information about this Niger issue. It has to do with this same contract business so they sign, okay? On Thursday, Burkina Faso military hunter leader Ibrahim Traore, he announced he don't create a national company where now they're responsible for extract the minerals, then they process the minerals them now the country, then that company then get for sell the minerals directly to the global market. Waiting are the one of the reasons why they try to nationalize the minerals then they, because of the same problem we'll get Nasa alone. Let me explain to you now. We all know, say, some of them Western countries then they, like France, for example, where it in Niger, what it do? They go register a company, and this company only register for one mineral, for example, gold, because France not get gold, but they get the highest amount of gold in their country because of the loot where they loot from Africa. So then they go sign for say, okay, well, they can't mine this particular mineral like gold. But what will happen? Where then they pull the dirty, they know they actually wash the dirty in the country. Then they take that dirty, they then ship them. Now France, it sounds familiar, right? With London mining,
iron ore, and the trend there,
and rutile. You understand? What is actually now the reason why them people are they not plan for wash them here? Now because that dirty day, it gets a lot of other minerals them where the minerals and they now free. Now they take them. So this now the reason this way Iban always say it nationalize the minerals then they if we they go lost now we don't have to say now the minerals we will get we go sell now we they go lost. Can we do that in Sierra Leone? Hey, Michael Coker, Peter Dauda, when I they try for Coker on behalf of the APC Naya, the SLPP Naya. This is a very good idea. Can we do that? If we talk about democracy now, we actually mean the interest of the people. Can we do that? No, these are some of the things then we try. You see, when they sit down and discuss, they get a lot of ideas. So let we go back to the comment. All right, Peter Dauda said, I never thought you were a pacifist. Well, I'm not telling you the first thing to tell me say I'm a pacifist. I remember sometimes inside the APC, where sometimes the APC and they come with certain brutal, combative behavior where they say, no, let's don't go this route. Then they call me saying a pacifist. So not only the first person for calling me pacifist. Is it a bad term? I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, no matter all the ones them way people that don't fight this wall here, which are they end up? Negotiation. So negotiation are the only thing where they resolve any problem. You can fight for how many 100 years. If you not come at the table and negotiate, the problem is solved. So why don't you just come at the table and negotiate from the beginning? Instead of, look what happened now, what thing they happen now, Ukraine. I know why for bring Ukraine, but just an example. Because the parties then refuse for negotiate, over 500,000 Ukrainian people, mostly military folks, then don't die in Ukraine. And we are not talking about the one that we don't window. This now the one that we don't die in Ukraine. 500,000. If therefore we don't sit down and say, you know what, let's come to the table and try for negotiate. Me now possibly believe in compromise. Sometimes there are 500,000 people they never be lost their life. But look at that, and they are still dying. At the end of the day, I assure you, at the end of the day, now table they all go sit down, then they negotiate. Sometimes then negotiation they get for come back to the same original point, either for accept what Russia say in place of Russia giving the land where they don't capture. Well, why would not be not negotiate from the beginning? So now the same thing with here. So it is not a pacifist idea. It is a reality for sayers. No problem, no the way they know they go sit down at the table and negotiate. At the end of the night, get for happen, So maybe you can call me a pacifist. Maybe that's a badge of honor anyway. Now, Peter Dauda said, if you say that you are a Democrat, you must be willing to defend democracy anywhere it is threatened. Yeah, I agree. But do you know what is democracy? You don't know because you believe say when they say democracy, now for go take ballot boxes, then go put and then people then card and vote. That's all. No, elections are not democracy. So it's just a tool set. It's in fact one of the thousands of tool sets where democratic process gets. The main important thing about democracy is a government will actually look for the interests of the people. The people. Okay? So it's a contract. It's a contract. Government's not a contract. If I give contract say do X, Y, Z, if you not do them, I'm not gonna wait for let me give you an example. This also I get so. Maybe you tell me say, well, we agree say for make me roof, it costs 2 months. Okay, I give this contract. Then you start for make the roof. As you say, you damage the roof more. Do you actually want me for make I wait after the 2 months before I come back? I can nullify the contract. No. I didn't nullify the contract right there because I don't want for make the damage continue. Okay, because if I wait the contract in time done, then the problem will be compounded and it will be more expensive. So I will nullify that contract right there. So now the same thing with them term of office here. If they give 5 years, you just do 1 year, then people then don't begin to say, okay, this guy, he really want for cause more problem in the country. If the constitution call for a recall, I don't think say any African constitution actually gets any recall at all. Nope. So what's the next step? Maybe the military will use the military for pulling out, then it will bring back, will return back the country into a civilian rule. I think that is a little bit too obvious. So democracy doesn't necessarily mean people voting, so therefore that person is the only person. No. It's the interest of the people in a democracy. Okay? I just don't define the democratic definition. I just don't give them. So let's go to Mirab. Who is this? I think this now somebody way, I don't know. So I don't know. The person, let me just pull this. Let me delete the comment. I don't know. Sometimes, not to even a Sierra Leonean, I don't think the person is Sierra Leonean. So then the one the way they just they watch, they don't know what they talk. They want for advertise them business. Oh wow, this Joe Bokari. But they make a half small, just make a half because it cover the entire screen. Joe Bokari say, Mankota, don't waste your breath and precious time to create the impression that Maada Bio plans or intend to send soldiers to Niger. No African country is going to wage war against another African country, as the only beneficiary will be Europe and USA, who will be selling arms to the warring faction. The situation in Niger is going to be resolved through diplomatic channel. We will not fight a war to kill our own people for France and those that say they have special interest. I agree with you totally, Joe Bokari. And this is what I have been talking about for so many times. So many times since where this problem happened. There is no way ECOWAS will come and try for confuse or convince we say if they go invade Niger militarily, now because of democracy. No, it's not because of democracy. It's because France wants for make the status quo continue. Why France, where ECOWAS then the whole meeting, France then they send delegation there. Why? France na ECOWAS member. Why did they send delegation there? When the defense chief of staff whole meeting at Ghana then this year, France sent delegations then there. Why? What did France actually get for do with ECOWAS? So it is very clear that any attempt by ECOWAS for forcefully invade Niger, it has to do about trying to satisfy France. And that it get for backfire bad. Because if them countries that they not be careful, because I see even northern Nigeria, we get border with Niger. then say if Tinubu send military now Niger for go invade, that means it's also an invasion in northern Nigeria. So it get for backfire bad. Imagine Sierra Leone go send troops, then begin come with cops them. The country right now is shaking. What's in the people of Sierra Leone go do? Well, it will be very, very tense. It will be very, very tense. And it cause a lot of problem. The one the way go want for use them for destabilize the country, then go do them. So Maada Bio has to be very careful when he been say them, he been make them what their statement and then make a tell and say, I don't know whether Maada Bio gets experience advisors them, because advisors are responsible for look at some of the flaws of the president and try to, for advice, and so go do the wrong thing. Well, I see most of the government officials them where Maada Bio appoint, a small bubble them way they don't get that too much experience. So it's also dangerous in as much as now a very good thing for try for bringing young people them into the government, very, very good. But at the same time, it also gets some kind of disadvantages. So that make, when you bring them boya, try for surround yourself first. Advisors, I'm not talking about ministers, I'm talking about advisors. Those people that have experience and sincere, they're not afraid for telling the truth. So these are some of the things where Maada Bio need for understand, say, if he send troops, if ECOWAS invade, Maada Bio send troops, then begin come with corpses of our brothers, who go ask question, why this person supposed for die in Niger? Why? Because there was no reason why this person for go to Niger, for go die. So let's be careful with that. All right, Musa Conte say, we must not forget also that Guinea, our neighbor, pledged support in favor of Niger's stance, stating unanimously with the likes of Mali, Burkina Faso, that ECOWAS intervention into Niger will be considered an act of war. What if Sierra Leone sent troops and got invaded by Guinea as a result? Food for thought. Okay, I think that is a little bit too scary, but I'm not thinking Guinea go invade Sierra Leone because they send troops na Niger. Maybe, if they want for do there are people already where desperately want for overthrow Maada Bio, then go allow them people then they for use their territory, trying for stifle chaos at the country. May God forbid it. But I not think say Guinea go invade Sierra Leone because of that. Anyway, Mr. Gabo, if you want to say something, just jump in anyway. Frank Morris, Guinea are not mad to invade us because we support ECOWAS stand. Yeah, I agree. So I just don't talk about that. I agree with you. They're not good ram. All right, let's go to Kieran Robinson. Joe Bakari, stop dreaming. ECOWAS will invade. Mark my words. Niger will capitulate. Okay. I believe say, you see, the thing where a lot of people they don't understand is that it is not the military might where some people then get now in the win election, war. Now the willingness for fight the war. Now, I'll give you an example. America, now the strongest military power in the world. Imagine Afghanistan when horses then they ride. They don't get plane, they don't get heavy weapons them. They fought with America for 20 good years. What did happen? We killed them, we fed them because they get the will for defending country. What did happen? We look in, you know what? Let us just come on at this God-forsaken countries here. We accommodate. And how we accommodate? We accommodate in a way where it's very, very abrupt. So sometimes people that they look at, oh, they are they capitulate. First of all, Niger, not the young country down there. Okay? Now the young country. Now you come, No matter how it take you, they go. You they go back. You can come, you try for capture the country because you get military power, like what the US do in Afghanistan and Iraq. You hold on for some time. But if the people can get the will for defending country against Una, now trouble I don't get so. Besides, this not a Niger no more. Now, I tell you, say yesterday, Mali and Burkina Faso just don't send military jets na Niger. So now you have Mali. You are not only fighting Niger, you fight Mali, you fight Burkina Faso, and you fight Guinea, and the other neighboring countries, when Chad, Algeria, Mauritania, the neighboring countries, and they all then say no, they allow for make somebody use their territory for go fight. So what you get for do? What you get for do? You have a problem. So I hope say ECOWAS know that. So hopefully, because I don't begin to understand, say there are people within ECOWAS where they don't begin realizing the situation will not be resolved by attacking Niger. It cause more problem. It cause more bloodbath than solving the problem. Well, if the medicine where they give a patient, they do more harm than the sickness, why they give that medicine? There? So I don't think say the outcome will be very good. Honorable strategic or Horn strategic, I don't know. President Bio cannot settle minor issues and talk less of a major issue affecting Sierra Leone. Tell Bio to stay safe and avoid bringing another chaos to this country. I agree with you, brother. King MZ Ali. That's why you steal money. Africa to go. I don't know. GV, France, stupid ECOWAS. Okay, I don't understand what they try to talk about. Oh, for Africa to give France stupid ECOWAS. Oh yeah. I think they talk about France. Yeah, France. Any money where France they spend on this effort here for make ECOWAS go first, it don't get nothing to do with democracy. It's about France, their interest, and it's very, very pathetic. A country like a continent like Africa, where don't go so much exploitation, and now the young people are standing up for try for kick out some of them warmia, where they don't suck the bloods of Africa for so many years. They are the winner. When the government are the crowd, I say no. They need for continue for so. If it only takes them, then countries that we get for send them military then they get problem at their own country. Mark my word. All right, Brian Molumbua. I'm supporting Niger. May ECOWAS soldiers die in numbers if they attack Niger. The local people of Niger are supporting the coup. Why are you insisting on returning the bad leaders? My brother, I don't know. Because, sometimes, now one thing where I suspect, where then Western societies are than they do, then they use democracy as a cover for continue for milk, for exploit African resources. Because they know say, then get the money, and we leaders then, are greedy leaders and are selfish leaders them, and it's easy for buy a selfish leader, not to so. So no matter how many people who vote for that leader there, they work on the interest of the country or the people who vote for them. Now the money they follow. So now something like that. If France really genuinely want for left Africa, first of all, it need for go out of Africa, then come back for can do business, so that the business will be in an equal footing. But if you say the exploitative treaties the way you don't sign, so people then supposed for continue, for obey the exploitative treaties, then it's gonna be a war. And ECOWAS should not be a tool for France at this time. No, I know say Tinubu na a relic of colonialism. Now we call it neo-colonialism. What's in a neo-colonialism? Now, when a country use financial and economic tools for continue for exploit another country, I didn't call it neo-colonialism. So Tinubu now just a relic. I did some of some members them, some Nigerians, and they talk say the reason why to make Tinubu they do this, they try for force this on the ECOWAS now because it gets something where the United States hold against them when it been in America now. So a lot of information they come out. I don't know how true it is, but this information even begin come out before even this Niger problem. The information begin come out during the elections. So who knows? Who knows? All right, Musa Conte, to state in totality that in a democracy, the declared winner has the majority or the right to say I am representing the majority is wrong and misplaced. For this simple fact that here in the US, not all declared winners of the presidency carry the majority of the people's vote. Well, what in Mr. Akabo been maybe Mr. Akabo go able chime in about. I believe what he been try for talk about in a democratic system. We get what we call absolute majority, right? Wherein the majority now they make decision. The minority, it don't mean say they're not going to be a part of the decision, but the ultimate decision makers now the majority. That now so then design democratic processes. I Mr. Akabo been try for talk about. Mr. Akabo, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Go ahead. I'm just listening to you.
Yeah. All right. Alhaji Sawane. It is easy to win war, but it is hard to win peace. Exactly. Exactly. And I just give an example now, Afghanistan. Nobody will expect him. The United States no go win any war where they fight in Afghanistan. They compare the way they ride horses and people the way get jet plane. That's not massacre, not so. But what happened in Afghanistan, we learn for saying winning a war is the actually the easy part. Now maintaining peace, now they the problem there. So Niger, ECOWAS, then get the jets. And in fact, if ECOWAS invade, you know that the Air Force for ECOWAS. Not so ECOWAS. Look at the ECOWAS them plane. Look at I see them there's Nigeria them plane. Them call them Alpha Jet. Then 1940 planes where them in the first and Second World War. Now in ECOWAS jets. They not get any kind of modernized plane. So that plane they're very easy for shoot. Now that there are so many weapons the way people that they use for shoot down some of them old planes then they so it no go help. It no go help at all. So would I go for be the Air Force? Na France. France and they come with them jets for camp bomb, they come with them drone for camp bomb. So it will just cause more problem. It will just cause more killing, All right, let's go to Horn strategy. The people in the Republic of Niger are happy with the military. What benefit will heal the citizens if ECOWAS attack Niger? The whole show is that African leaders most of them don't value their citizens as they take the oath of president. Yeah, definitely. I think that's now a very good idea. I just don't say that. Let me say, democracy is never about elections. Because some people then they come, we vote for this person, so therefore, now the legitimate president, now the legitimate president. Okay. All right. Well, when I give me 1 minute, somebody come Mr. Abdul, Mr. Kabo, continue for talk. Somebody come make me picking in motoka. I just talk to them. So just continue for talk. You mute.
Yeah, problem. Look at the comments. section.
Yeah, go ahead.
Unfortunately, I can't read them clearly, but I'll try to read some from one Mr. Hun Strategic. He says the people in the Republic of Niger are happy with the military. What benefit will heal the citizens if ECOWAS attack Niger? The whole show is that African leaders, most of them didn't value their citizens as soon as they take the oath of president.
Yeah,
I think Mr. Mankota has explained that, and he's back. And I
yeah.
can't flip into the comments. So so
Right.
he's back. He's going to flip to the next one.
I forget, maybe the next time they put you as admin, so you were able to do
All
in
right.
case. So yeah, so what this man talk is very very true. Sometimes people then believe say the moment they don't go vote for them, now it get the ultimate power for do whatever it they do. So therefore, it they pivot towards exploitation. You know, because now they money they now they get money. That's not democracy. Democracy is an interest based a people based interest. You know, so I don't know. What is not good, Jaya, not true. No one know the way good. I think what's that the music? I forgot the music we talk about waiting good for war, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Honorable strategic. Look at London mining in Sierra Leone. How many years they have spent looting our resources without any benefit from Sierra Leone. We need to kick out these Westerners from Africa. Africa want to develop. Until we try for what the residue of colonialism, colonial exploitation. Me, are they in favor of the Western country for do business in Africa? Are totally in favor of that, but not on the basis of exploitation. No, not on the basis of exploitation. You come, we sit down, we talk. You know, they coerce me because you get more power or you get more money or I depend on you. We come in an equal footing, then we do business so that me take care of me people, you take care of your company. That's not so it's supposed for be. But when they use colonial tools for continue for exploitatory, and I'm against that.
That's correct.
Yes, but we have social actions and social planning. We combine both to have positive healing in any country. More like Kamara. As a Sierra Leonean, I do not support the Sierra Leone military to be sent to Niger. Yeah, I not support that too. Not a good idea. Now, Vani Jelaipa, good news, brother. On strategic, let them go there. They use to humiliate Sierra Leone. They will surely gain the reward. Kamara. Why? Because it is not a civil war. The people support the military intervention as a pan-Africanist. I strongly believe that they are fighting in the interest of the nation. We are waiting for Niger military to request for financial help to buy arms to fight ECOWAS. That's I don't know. One analyst now, one of the media as them where I've been the watch. If they talk say if ECOWAS go na Niger, that's gonna be the first African World War. Because now,
Mr. Mankota, I think the thought of ECOWAS going to war is basically they embark on one fact that the ousted president was democratically elected.
Yeah, that's not the excuse always.
Right, it's democratically elected and it's not seeking a third term or what. That is, I think, the second term or something. It's democratically elected. But yeah, as you said, democracy is one, and being democratic is one, and being undemocratic is another.
Mhm.
This is the time. Any time is good. This is the time that people realize that these so-called leaders who claim to be democratically elected, they are puppets of these signatories in those
Yeah,
days
yeah,
that are costing them their lives and their living status in their country. More so with the French people.
mhm.
It's not late. It's not too late. I mean, though it's been a long time, but they figure out that this is the chance we have now. We have to get stop this, and you can't tell me when it has to be. A revolution don't come at certain times. It comes. I mean, it comes at certain times. You don't have a specific date and time. And I think this is the revolution now for the French and the French-speaking countries and the France itself to come back to the table and renegotiate, if there will be any renegotiation, or review the agreements they signed. The youth of today, this generation, 21st generation, they said no to it. And they
Yeah,
have rights. They were standard that people go and hold them. They're already dead. Go there and hold them. Why we? My problem is not my children's problem. My problem is my problem. When I die with my problem.
yeah. Ezekiel 18:18. Ezekiel 18:18 say, the father shall not bear the iniquity of the son, nor the son bear the iniquity of the father.
Definitely, definitely. That's what I'm saying. Definitely.
If
So,
me papa na been slave, that
if,
don't mean
if not,
being a slave.
yeah, no. If you're not being chief man, I don't mean saving a chief man. No, I ain't gonna be that.
Yeah, I agree with you. More like Kamala say, Niger, after 50 years with all their natural resources, they are still poor. Our people need to liberate Africa. Mali and Burkina Faso have already sent military jets in Niger to prepare for ECOWAS. ECOWAS, the need for chill out. You know, ECOWAS supposed for comfort for Niger. You know, like I said earlier, the only alternate outcome here is going to be a new election, a negotiation and a new election. That man no go na that power day again. The military junta I not think say then go allow. Alright, Tundi the Peter Lamb, he say Bio is a sellout. Bio like be careful, oh, then kind action say away they take. Okay. That country they is not stable here too, and he know that very well. Okay, Musa Conte say I was thinking out of the box. Oh, okay. All right, honorable, horn strategic. Okay, now I would call you honorable. Okay, I don't know whether you know honorable, but if now you picture that, they look like honorable. All right, the whole show is about Westerners who don't want Africa to develop because they want to continue looting our raw minerals. Yeah, if Sierra Leone na a country where first of all we like ourselves, by this time we know they struggle for get $4 billion as a GDP. In fact, recently it go down to 2 billion. It don't come back. I think $3 or $4 billion. Look at all the minerals they and they loot from Sierra Leone. We're not able to get anything where would they show for it. I think the young generation need for stand up. Okay, it is time. Them folks here now sell out definitely. And Niger and the francophone country, they don't get enough with France their exploitation. So the last thing we need for the anglophone country for can dictate within the francophone country suppose forget at the young country. After we all know same, the exploitation is just too much to bear. You know, Peter Dauda say no wonder Ernest Bai Koroma was signing 99 years mining contract with the hope that he will be president for life. Kings Soma, African play all that matters. Yeah. Ogbako Olan Rewaju. Oh wow. Nigerians should tell Nigeria that if they kill even just a dog in Niger, the war they start won't stop till Niger is finished. Nigeria is finished. I hear this that the northern states of Nigeria, they don't want Tinubu saying because of the interrelations where they between northern Nigeria and Niger. If Tinubu send military forces na Niger for go fight Niger, that means na themselves the attack. So because na the border, na people, na the same people them. Sometimes people they way come out from Niger. They get people in northern Nigeria. You know, just look at the world themselves. Nigeria. You will not say this we are, you know, the same thing African effects na the unboxing. Why Nigeria? These people were the same people. They were the same. Now because colonial masters then can cut them, they say, okay, this is the border, una the end up, then divide people them. The Mami side in at the other side, the Daddy side in at the other side. You know, so it's very complicated. And a lot of people understand that say Nigeria, the Hausa, for example, the Hausa, because I think the Hausa and one or two other tribes now them be the majority in Niger, you know, and most of them and they then get people that are not in Nigeria also. So I don't know, but let's wait. Tinubu and Tina 70-something-year-old. Sometimes in brain don't begin fry, so you know go understand what in the implication. Maclean Nanenu, my brother, ECOWAS will never gain their plans. I hope so. You know, the young people there, I not say, well, with the exception of those that are brainwashed in the name of democracy in Africa. Sometimes then they come and say, oh, they go first in the name of democracy. We want to defend democracy. No, that's what democracy they defend. No. There is nothing like democracy if the people that are voting, the people that are supposed to be represented, do not benefit from the process. It's not a democratic process. You know. Peter Dada said there is no place for military coup in a democracy. Yeah, there is no place for military coup in a democracy. I agree with you. Just as there is no place for a democracy that does not seek the interests of the people. See? It makes sense. Joseph Faya, we don't want Liberia to send support ECOWAS. Yeah, I don't know if is Liberia going to send. I think Liberia will likely send troops too. You know, there's small countries there like Sierra Leone, Liberia. They want for sure say yes. At least they are important in the bloc. So then go on for say do something. You know, who knows? Maybe Liberia they send troops then too. More like Kamara. 80% of all Africans around the world are in support of Nigeria. Yeah, I agree with maybe more than that actually. It's only the few brainwashed Africans them, or the one they will not understand what is actually not the complication or the complexity of France, their grip now the Francophone countries. Sometimes them people in they not see, but no matter what's not the circumstance, if they understand for say yes, indeed. This particular coup is not a coup. It's a revolution for tribal. It just feel like you get a rapist now you host. You understand? It get human rights too. But what did they do? They do everything for pull her out of your house. So this particular thing now cancer the Francophone country they want for eliminate from their system. So the best way what they do, let we support them when they don't clear the cancer out. Then we can sit down and say, okay, what's not the next step? You know, maybe that's go even you make the Anglophone countries there because to be honest with you, then they talk no more. Sometimes now France no more we know about. Maybe there are other treaties that where Britain don't sign for a very long time, where it is still they exploit we're not the citizens. I still can't believe that. You know, some people then say, well, Britain. Then that come out totally. Me, I don't believe that too. What will be there will be say France been don't come out totally, not so until Dr. Arikana come and say, no, France not come out. France never left Africa. So I just imagine, did Britain left? Did Britain leave Sierra Leone or Africa? I don't begin doubt on that. So maybe we will continue for dig for see what thing they go on. All right, honorable strategic. I'm not in support of military rule, but looking at the current status of West African leadership, it doesn't encourage their citizens to enjoy birthright. My dream is Africa united. We use a single currency, one passport. European use single passport to work within their countries without any disturbances. Let me talk a little bit about this. I been the watch. Was it yesterday or the day before? Yesterday, where I been the watch. This guy, Professor Lumumba, one of his speeches, the way they give, he talk about these currencies. He said Africa gets about 33 different types of currencies. 33. Now Africa gets the currencies that within Africa, and the pathetic part of it is one currency not the other country. Currency not they work in the other countries, with the exception of the francophone country we get this CFI. But even this CFI, it's an African currency actually. Now a French managed currency. What happened if we bring the entire Africa into one currency? That money, and what is Professor Lumumba been trying to talk about? He said, you they take like Kenyan shillings. You go to Zimbabwe. If you go show them, then they ask you now what's in this? They not even know. But you take dollar. You go to Zimbabwe. They say, you go to any country in a dollar or pounds. Why don't we have a single currency and say, okay, this is an African currency? Why? Because, yeah.
Is that not why Gaddafi was killed?
Yeah. Now because of that. Yeah, now that make them kill him. Yeah, now that make the West kill him.
Why do you think we can do it? And who is going to stand that they will not kill him again?
Well, one thing I believe, Mr. Gabo, you were able to kill the human being, but you're not ever able to kill a good idea. Yeah. You remember when Dr. Arikana being revealed about this francophone exploitation by France? Right. What did France do? He ordered the AU for make them pull Arikana. Well, that woman already don't publish the information. The information don't go. Why you see today some of them francophone countries are now then they support the military coups them. Now because of that, they don't realize, oh, you know what? Beyond this time they go on. So you're able to kill somebody, but you're not going able to kill an idea. So yes, they don't kill Gaddafi, but the idea not only will they discuss so. One day, then people are then go sit down and say, you know what? If you want to kill me, kill me. If you want to kill everybody, kill everybody. But will they come and do this because it is enough? You understand? It is enough. Look at what happened. The ECO, you know, the money, the single currency way West Africa be one for do, ECOWAS be one for create. Mm-hmm. You know what that killer?
Tell me something about that.
You know what that killer? Now France. No. Now France and killer. You know what in France do? When France no say ECOWAS almost ready for ratify the single currency we them call ECO. Now then France go create another currency called ECO currency. It called Al-Hassan Ouattara na Ivory Coast, another puppet. It call him. So make Al-Hassan Ouattara actually sabotage the ECOWAS the currency. Now in kill him. Now the same thing and they try to do so. Then they call now Africans and then they call for conflict and dirty what they call them. That's what they do. So, but the idea is there. So we are hopeful for say even this United States of Africa, where Thomas Sankara, Kwame Nkrumah, or the other leaders them, where they propose this, yeah, then kill them all. But what happened? The idea is still there, not so. Every time, every generation, the idea they go, there will be a time where people they realize, say, you know, we cannot survive as a species if we know they come together. We cannot. So the moment the generation realize, say, Africa will never survive as a species if they know they come together as one single unit. And the best way, now forget a United States of Africa, where we get one single currency, we get one single passport, we get one single military, we get one single economy. That's
and one single president.
One single president. Then
governors and mayors.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly. That time now in Africa were able to develop, and the West is fighting tooth and nail for make whatever happen. They're ready for kill, whether they get for kill for make that, and then they use other Africans them for sabotage that idea there. This is the pathetic part of Africa. All right. I think I done this. Yeah.
But is this the only topic you have for today? I think that is.
Yeah, I think so. The other topic where I do want to talk about. Let me just pull this before we continue. Now that is a very simple topic.
Do you have more time on that?
I only get about 15 minutes. I will go talk 15 minutes on that. Then we continue until 15 minutes. We will talk 5 minutes no more. Now, what will happen at here with the former US ambassador David Reimer, where he go sit on now public radio, when they talk about the elections of Sierra Leone. I know say when a former ambassador one for left, sometimes not necessarily, but sometimes then he ask them or make them talk about the experience of the country. But I think say the former US ambassador, the statement where he talk, they're very good. A very good statement, but they lack substance. Why? First of all, every diplomat will go represent a country to another country. They get what they call diplomatic protocols. What are protocols? Protocols are rules and regulations that each diplomat is supposed to follow when he is in the other country. And one of their rules and they do not interfere publicly, because there is no way then diplomats don't need to interfere now with internal process. They are always going to do that, but do not interfere publicly. That's number one. Okay. We don't say they recall them, recall them. Rumor has it that actually Maada Bio complained about this ambassador. Now that make them recall him. So when he goes sit down, talk to him publicly, the result may come out where ECSL announced it not conform with the actual result. For people like we, so number one, well, that is correct, but where is the proof? Because what this ambassador don't do, it don't cause a lot of distrust in the minds of a lot of people then, for say maybe the US is not a good or a sincere broker, or because number one, first of all, now a violation of in diplomatic ethics. You don't do that. Why Germany not do that? Why even Muller, the European Union representative Nasalon, the SLPP attacked Muller for a very because they believe saying Muller been the try for Fed for a regime change. So they attack them everywhere. After the election, where Muller they give them their summary because I they give. You know, similar na public radio, they go begin talk about why this should do so, and especially you don't put this information out there. Could be true, But number one, you not bring any evidence so that people then will realize say yes, what in the ambassador don't talk. Now true, look at the evidence where you present. Now there are a lot of people them, Sierra Leoneans them, where they use the ambassador in statement na radio where continue for cause trouble. So I think say in my own opinion, even if waiting this ambassador still not true, I think say it violate in diplomatic protocol, and that's not supposed to happen at all. You know, the ambassador understands say the American embassy gets power, a lot of power. America gets a lot of power for resolve their problems. Yeah, very amicably if they want to resolve them problems. Yeah. How did they do them? Now behind the scene, what happened in 2018? The APC party come out and say, no, this election is not correct. You're wrong. They rigged the election. Okay. What an American embassy and other Western ambassadors they do? Then call all the different parties, APC, SLPP, and go sit down. Secretly, they say, okay, hey, look, what happened? Or what not happen? So when I need for resolve this, now resolve that they all resolve, they sign a pledge for say abide by that. So what happened? They all come out that make the APC party being some members of the APC party being get a problem with Anes by Corona. Because they say Anes by Corona now is sell out. Because my Ingo say that particular statement they can say, all right, the SLPP win the election. But until now, behind the scene, then do it not cost too much vision. When you come out, you are almost you come out and make the statement here. You not even present a single proof or say the proof. I think it intended for cause chaos by the country. If not something where you really believe, say yes, this and they do in the interest of the country, yes. The other thing where I find very, very hypocritical for this ambassador is number one, okay, you say Maada Bio in government is illegitimate. Because when you say the election where they read, it not conform with the actual result, what technically you say, all I'm calling you mute you. I think say somebody they wait and call at the background. So if you come and say the election, the results where they read, it not conform with the actual result, technically you talk say Maada Bio in government is illegitimate. That's not so you say. But okay, why you don't know say Maada Bio in government illegitimate, but you turn back and say no, we not go work. It tell we party say we not go work with this illegitimate government. You see the hypocrisy there? America no go ever work with an illegitimate government. No. Okay. So why you turn back and tell we say we now the APC for go work with an illegitimate government? What you say self don't acknowledge say you know win the election. Well, you know say no win the election technically, but if you say the result is not conform, well, it's an ambiguous statement. Everybody can interpret it the way he wants, and that's not the problem what I get. Then not that one no more. What did he do when they open parliament? A government way illegitimate. This ambassador was right there in parliament. It been the clap where Maada Bio been the give speech. This not an illegitimate government where you don't describe as illegitimate. Then you go sit on there. You go clap. Then you go tell we say that we go work with a legitimate government, and you come with that statement. You're not even able to give a single iota of evidence for say una hear the evidence. What I talking about true? What I believe say now it happen. I think this ambassador he actually do this not because of we result to now because na kind of a retaliation. Na image. I talked to one government official yesterday, and he told me exactly what they talk so. Say it was all about a retaliation because of the situation where he find himself. Well, I don't care. I remember the time when Michael Schellenberg, Mr. Kabo, you know about that, not so. Michael Schellenberg, where being calm, he can't criticize Anes by Koroma publicly. We go after him, not so.
Correct.
We been go after him because we believe say that was a violation of the diplomatic protocol where that UN representative supposed to follow. You know, they come and try to interfere publicly in the political affairs of a country. You cannot do that, no matter what the circumstance. So Schulenburg come out and try to interfere, and that time they now election with them. Maada Bio just don't win the nomination in 2011. What can happen? You know, before that, and the Scroma been signed a pledge say they know they prosecute anybody we get for do with the 29 people they way then kill the NPRC kill. So he signed that pledge day immediately after Maada Bio win the nomination, and the Scroma say in the look into the circumstances of the 29 people where they kill. Now then Michael Schulenburg say no, he say you been done sign say you know they actually prosecute anybody on that side there. So why all of a sudden where a member of the NPRC just win the nomination, now you say they prosecute? He say no, if you do that, then go time and for say now a political prosecution. Now then the problem happened. So then they put that back and forth in Ban Ki-moon, you know, then the Secretary General and Michael Schulenburg, then they put that one day. Michael Schulenburg not realize it, and Scroma when they listen to them. So what do you do? He go public as a diplomat. He begin to talk some of them here. So some of we will know for say it's very, very wrong because that was an interference into our election process. We go after them. So if I been go after that one day during the time of me own party, I think say if me a sincere person, no matter what somebody think, I for go after this because to be honest with you, it's not about APC versus SLPP. Yes, number one for make us say na APC versus SLPP, but this na an interference into the political process. If David Reimer been really want to solve this problem, you know what the process is because they may not do it before. So that's not the topic we I'll be one for discuss briefly. Mr. Kabo, after that we then move on. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mankota. This guy, first I want to apologize. Mr. Mankota, we have to apologize to the people of Sierra Leone. We are the taxpayers of America.
I know.
All right. So we want to take this opportunity to apologize to the government and the people of Sierra Leone for such an infidel, an imbecile guy. And I want to tell you that the interview he took is not on behalf of the government of the people of America. It's on his own. And this is how we Americans operate. This is exactly what we do.
People that say
he don't speak on behalf of America as an ambassador. He speaks on his own behalf because those statements and those comments are far beyond expectation and they are not part of his diplomacy. In fact, they are contrary to the diplomacy. For instance, he's there to create, protect the interest of his own country and create a peace between Sierra Leone and America. And what we look at here, his main functions also are to create economic stability in the country. Economic stability, right? Okay. And yeah, it's to create economic stability in the country, and to also create that kind of cultural exchange between America and Sierra Leone. And these are some of his major duties, and he failed to do that. Now, what he does is he stood up publicly and chastised the government of Sierra Leone and the people of Sierra Leone. This is not about SLP, but later I will tell you. He came there in January 1991, and he expected, actually, in normal circumstances, 3 years. That is in January of 2024. But unfortunately, he's not going to make that time because he's been recalled. And so what he said and what Mr. Mankota said is exactly what he's doing. He's saying that, you know, waiting don't spoil, no all spoil. That's exactly what he's saying to the people of Sierra Leone. And I credited him on that because he learned very fast. He sounds like an APC supporter.
No. Well, it don't begin bring what is that traditional?
He sounds exactly like an APC supporter. Somebody goes, excuse me, I know you're an APC. No offense. I'll tell you why he sounds like that. And you will confirm that in some of the major outlets, APC outlets in the media, one of their major characteristics from the time when Maada Bio took over in 2018, the thing is that when we don't win, APC don't win, we all let our team point. So 9 instead they do. It land fast. That's what I'm telling you. That it sounds like an APC. The second point is that he said he insulted the whole cultural background, government, and so on and so forth, whatever has to do with Sierra Leone, by saying that Sierra Leoneans are not credible. We are too polarized. He is more polarized than any other person. He said that even though the president has appointed a chairman of a committee that will look into the election, he said that is not credible. And the vice president, he has much respect for him, but he's not credible because he's part of a political party. And neither APC is credible, either one. And so what he asked was to bring an international body to come and do the investigation. That is exactly sounding like an APC. When APC failed to put to court, they said they wanted an international body to come and conduct the election. That's why I tell you, he learned very fast. And these things will not get him from there. This ties him because we see in the previous years, maybe last year in some constituency elections, how he was interacting with the people. So he learns very fast. But I'm telling you, and I promise you this will be his last position in the American government. You know, he will never be recalled and be sent back to reposted to any part in the world because he didn't speak on behalf of the American people. This is not what the American people are expecting, like us, who pay the taxes that they are paying him. All right, he speaks on his own, so sometimes you don't want to go much about it because this is his own philosophy, this is his own way. You just tell the people of Sierra Leone who he is. All right, by insulting the sovereignty of Sierra Leone. How? If Sierra Leone is a sovereign state, it's based on that sovereignty that the government of America posted him there as an ambassador. Why would he call on external nations to come into our country to investigate or to sit into election issues? And now he further said that we're not going to get the compact.
The MCC.
He put a knee on it. We're not going to get the compact. This is another APC behavior. APC are fighting about that because one, they are all over the world blocking all aids, all investors. And what is the difference between him and the APC? So he learned very fast. You see why we reported him? Because he behaved like an APC. He went and joined a political party. That's exactly. These words have been integrated by the APC people since. And these are the words he picks up. And he thinks he can use them to create mayhem in our country. We got you, bro. That's your last job.
Now, hold on. Let me say something. First of all, it is an insult for David Reimer for come out and say, well, they want an international body. First of all, I agree with her on one side. Which I agree with her. Number one, the vice president should not lead that committee because you know why? The vice president is a defendant into the issue. So I agree with him totally for saying yes, indeed the vice president should not. But I disagree with him, and where I say now an insult. So out of 8 million people, 8 million. So this ambassador believes him there is nobody worthy within the 8 million and able to resolve your problem. Instead, we go find somebody outside for making you can solve your problem. I think now if you dig deeper, now a racist behavior.
It's very racist. It's very racist.
You cannot do that. You cannot say that. We are capable of solving our own problem. We not say yes, indeed. The democratic process is not fair. is not free of problems. We know that. But it is just 6 elections where we don't take 6 elections. So you expect a lot of problems because there are people who come out from the one party state where now them born now in them understand. So then they do everything for just either sabotage or something. We understand that 6 election is not enough to be perfect. As we they go on, we they improve. Even here in America, 245 years of democracy, we still get problem in America. So I maybe we they expect too much na salon because of we partisan, but it is normal to be to make mistakes as you grow up. You they learn from their mistakes then they. But it seems like this ambassador, because of the retaliation, he actually come in and use we. He they try for use with division, with disunity in the country for stifle more problems. Me na episode,
Exactly.
but I am.
No, that's what he did.
Nationalistic. You know, I am very
You know, I'm
nationalistic.
APC too. You know, I'm
No,
APC too.
No, you are not APC. So you see, I don't let somebody where they try for can use we because of impersonal stuff. And that was the reason why I come out now the TPM forum. I say, yes, a lot of APC now that they feel say yes, waiting this man don't talk now, it they in our own favor. It could be now against the APC too. Don't okay. All right, so say make you wait for me quick. I did complete now. So the man where they made the picking motor just don't dumb. So that's not the situation. Mr. Kago, continue for talking and now go talk to him quick at the camera right back.
All right. So if I can throw light more onto this useless ambassador, just like I said, I still continue to apologize to the government of Sierra Leone and its own people that this man don't speak on behalf of the American government. He spoke on his own. I know people will say, but Americans sent him there. He's an ambassador. He's this. Yes. That doesn't mean that just the same like Maada Bio appointed ministers or whatever, members of cabinet or directors, does not mean that they're following what he's asking them to do. That's why sometimes when you see they reshuffle them and get them out because they don't follow, most of them don't follow the rules and regulations or the principles set forth. It's the same thing like this man. They go there and do what they want to do at a point like this. That's exactly what he does. He was an American ambassador to Sierra Leone from January 1990, whatever the time. And his tenure of office supposed to end in January of the next year, 2024. But he can't make it because of his unscrupulous behavior. And just like I said, we all see in America, here, we have the Democrats and the Republicans. We see what's going on with Trump and the Democrats. He's against the result, but there's no way. His party also is against the result, but there's no way because the court has passed the decision that Biden is the winner and is the president of the country. If he has a problem, he goes to the court. He accepted what the court says, but he still denied the fact that the Democrats don't win the election. If he lives in this community, in this American community, and you know that's how democracy works, I think it's the same thing when he goes to Africa. That's what he should have shared with us, that kind of culture, and we also exchange our culture to him. By saying that to the opposition that, look, this is simple. The Constitution says you go to court. If you lose the influences over the election. And the best thing is to go to court and uphold the ruling of the court. If the court says the elections are genuine, then the elections are genuine. You can complain, you can deny, but that's the fact. He's trying to do that. If they try to do, I'm actually on the other side, indirectly by saying that Maada Bio is the president of the country. There's no question about that. And we want to see how they will work along with the next election, 2028. But what he said after that is very, very, very dangerous. And just like I say, I will ever remain to say it. He didn't speak on behalf of the American people. This is personal. This is personal. We're expecting him to be more, to have done more than this, or something better than this. In the sense that what he did by telling us our customs are bad and thinking that their customs are good, well, that didn't reflect to the Sierra Leonean people. What he says doesn't reflect to Sierra Leone, because we also have disputes of elections in America here. But the courts are supreme. They say they pass the decision and it stays. You can go and make your complaint anywhere, but the court's decision is the decision. What he would have done is to ask the APC people or the opponents or the opposition to go to court. But I call him, I style him as an APC guy, and he learned very fast the Sierra Leone politics simply because of 3 or 4 major behaviors he put up. One, he wants the compact to be crushed down. And I'll tell you, Sierra Leonean, and I promise you, it will never happen because there are rules and regulations. And we have 20 characters that are selected on an impact which American government endorsed. And based on those characters, that's where they're going to have us evaluated as to whether we win the compact or not. And as far as I see up to date, right now as I'm sitting here, we win the compact. The only thing is we went down 2 points as compared to last year. Last year we got 13 out of 20. This year, up to date, I think this came this morning. Or maybe he posted it. I don't know. This guy. It came this morning.
No.
We have, instead of 13 criteria we passed last year, this year we have 11 criteria. And I'm looking at the 20 criteria, Mr. Mankota, which they come and review and look at and grade us, those 20 criteria. And nothing has to do with the elections. Nothing has to do with the elections. Why will the elections affect the compact? There's nothing that has to do with the elections in those 4 areas that we selected. Civil liberty, it's a good pass. We have a good pass. Political tolerance, we have a good pass. All of those things have a good pass. You know, have you seen the report?
Well,
the 2023 report.
I not see it, but I know say the compact is based on waiting we don't do as a country. Now, in
Exactly.
Then they determine whether we don't improve. I don't know whether indeed the American government actually put a hold on that, or not just when somebody frustrated.
It's a bluff talk.
I wouldn't. I cannot say, but the fact here is it could have been the APC party where this guy they try for wouldn't call so at the camp, just like we have been calm during Michael Schellenberg the own issue.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people that sometimes they don't understand say the country is bigger than the political party. It is very important we will with the practice of politics. If we take we party so high, somebody they come cause problem in the country. Hey, if problem happen at that country, not only APC, not only SLPP, not the people that they die, not the people that they suffer, not the people. Even let's say this MCC parks where they consume. I see some people that then they celebrate and say, oh, the ambassador said and don't block the money so far. Well, remember that money in order for go now the pocket of some of these are not saying they go, but most of that money is being used for the people of Sierra Leone for help them. So Maada Bio, whether that money they come in or come on, then they pay in salary full. If they get in amenities full, if they get allowance, how they call it, where you go outside, what do they call per diem. If they get in per diem if you travel. So where they suffer, now Sierra Leonean people they suffer, you understand? So we not say yes, indeed, we're not happy with the election. We're not happy at all. We're not happy with the election. But
yeah, Mr. Mankota, if you don't mind, right? I can read you the 20 areas where Sierra Leone is being evaluated, which they selected because they give us the option to select as Sierra Leone, and the American government endorsed that. And those are the areas they come and investigate or make a survey or evaluate us. All right.
Okay.
And
Quickly.
yeah, I'll just read them quickly. I'm going to read those that we passed first. The 11 that we passed for 2023. And you will be surprised. The first one is inflation. We passed inflation. Mr. Mankota. Inflation. We passed. We passed political rights. We passed civil liberties. We passed control of.
Hold on. We passed political rights.
We passed. I start again. Number one, the first one on the list that we passed. Because there are 5 in each list, five in each line.
Make a one by one so that I will comment on that.
All right, you want me to read both the ones we pass and the one we fail?
Yeah.
Start from number one.
Yeah,
all right, on the list, number one on the list, fiscal policy, we fail it. That's number one. Number 2, inflation, we pass. Number 3, political rights, we pass.
I don't think so.
All right. Number 4, civil liberties. Civil liberties, we pass.
I don't think so too.
Number 5. Number 5, control of corruption, we pass. Number 6, regulatory quality. Regulatory quality.
Hold on, Mr. Gabo, hold on. Control of corruption will pass?
Control of corruption will pass. In fact, amongst all those I read, it is one of the highest.
May not be said this now. SLPP, now they write this. So.
Right, let me tell you something. In fact, this one came last night because yesterday it was not there.
Okay.
That's I'll tell you. Now, and regulatory quality, which is number 6, we fail. Trade policy. Last year we passed. This year we fail it. Trade policy. Then government effectiveness. Last year we fail it. This year we fail it.
Okay.
Rule of law, Mr. Mankota, we pass.
We pass the rule of law.
Freedom of information. Freedom of information, Mr. Mankota, we pass.
Oh yeah, down there, I agree. Okay, that's fine.
All right. Gender in the economy. Gender in the economy, we fail.
No, gender in the economy or gender in an equality.
Gender in the economy.
Oh, okay.
We fail.
Okay.
Now another surprise: land rights and access, we pass.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That's fine because then they sell Boku.
All right. Health expenditures. Health expenditures, we pass. Health expenditures, we pass.
Okay. I don't agree, but okay. Go ahead.
Primary education expenditures, we pass. In fact, it has 100%.
Primary education.
100%. Primary education expenditures. 100%.
No, that I agree. Maada Bio spend a lot of money now. Then school them. I agree.
Now we came down also. This is the one that also we follow. Natural resources protection. Last year we passed. This year we failed.
So why we fail this year?
I have to research on it. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
access to credit. Yeah.
Send me that link the way you don't. Go ahead.
Access to credit. We fail, of course. We don't have credit.
Well, we're not getting this anyway.
Employment opportunity. Of course, we don't have jobs. We fail.
Yeah.
Immunization rates. We pass. Immunization rates. We pass.
Okay. Because
girls' primary education completion rate. Girls' primary education completion rate. We get 90%.
No, yeah, I agree on that. I agree on that.
Child education, we fail. 20, I agree.
Okay.
That's it. So we have 11 out of 20. So we still have the compact.
Okay. Now let's continue quickly. I will try for ground up where them come. Ajibuja said ambassador's interview on 98.1 should not be deemed interference. He has responsibility to convey the view of his home country given the ongoing political impact. It was 98.1 that requested the interview, not he. Furthermore, the people of Sierra Leone needed to know firsthand how we stand with the US and the rest of the international community, international partners. Yeah, Ajibujalo, number one, I don't think it's an excuse for say because the 98 now then call for the interview, so therefore, no, you don't work for the government, you know, say there are protocols. I think say when Michael Schellenberg been the trial for come publicly and say something, you say something not to so because at that time, I don't know if you don't be a member of the government or so. I don't remember. But I think you said something on Facebook or something like that. You were able to remind me. You see, one thing we did for me, yes, the ambassador get the rights for portray the views of the American people or America. But when you portray them views, then they especially things where you know say very, very toxic, you have to be very careful. Me, Usai Ablema, when he come and say the election does not conform with waiting the actual vote, at least let it give me a clue. This is the actual vote. This is what ACSL report. But it just can't throw this ambiguity. And now, a lot of people that right now on social media, watching people that say even America say APC win the election. That was what we say actually, but because ambiguity is open to many interpretations. There's some people that way just want for make them believe say yes, APC win the election, then they come and do them thing and they, you understand. My concern is some of them here, it cause a lot of people in a country like Sierra Leone where politics is very, very toxic. It's very, very toxic. And not an ambassador, why the German ambassador not come and say so? Why the European ambassador not come and say so? None of us say they not get information where the American ambassador get. They get the information. But why? They are obliged to uphold the diplomatic protocols, ethics. And that's in the make Schellenberg was recalled. To be honest with you, Mr. Jibujalo, what did Michael Schellenberg been say it was true. You very well know that say it was true. Not true. But you don't come out and you as a diplomat, you come out because diplomats get power. Especially America, the most powerful nation on the earth. He get power when he talk, whether not lie or not true, people then they believe. So therefore, if they come, you get to be very careful. But I not think say he respects the people of Sierra Leone. That is the problem where I get with him. Because if you respect the people of Sierra Leone, number one, when you don't decide yes, they can't talk within America, think, they come with the result. But you just can't hang up. You say, oh, now this is what thing. When they ask him, they're not able to bring anything. That's not a deliberate act for stir up. And guess what happened? The APC party been don't agree for say yes, they're ready for negotiate. They're ready. When this ambassador say, what will happen? The APC now say, then stand, what will then say for boycott, and they still stand on that. You see, this is where the problem is. Now, because the APC party don't get other fire, even though probably it not for help we, because it gets in your personal motive, so you know, it benefits the APC party, but now we don't can put yourself again into another impasse where they cause more problem at the party, they cause more problem at the country. You know, I don't know, but we have to be realistic, you know.
And this is exactly what it is, Mr. Mankota. What was the purpose of this guy being in that country? It was to enhance peace. You should have come between the two parties and negotiate rather than cause fire where it don't cause so. Yeah. And that's why I tell you, that is not an American. That's not American. That is David Da Raymond behavior. It's not American behavior. And we Americans, we easily can get away from things because when we don't send you what you do, You take it. It's on you. And I promise you, he will never be an ambassador in any African country again. This is his last chance.
All right. Musa Conte say Mr. Kabo is thinking exactly like an SLPP. How fair do you think Julia will be as a chairman of such a committee? And if you talk about the stance of the opposition opposing the government, what else do you expect?
You are right. You are right. And if I do support Julia as being there, probably it's a misstep. But yet still, he would have come with a solution to say, don't put Julia there. But not, who do you prefer? An external person from another international part of the world or Julia? Whom do you prefer? I prefer Julia and somebody from outside world. But again, if need be, we shouldn't have Julia there. We can have a neutral person again, but within the country, not outside the boundaries of Sierra Leone. Yeah.
Okay. Somebody, they said, this video is no longer on Facebook. Una waiting on Facebook. Una they see me. Something is not right. Oh, Facebook is off. They say we are having trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue of Facebook ending. Facebook's end is possible. The stream was ended or deleted or I don't know why.
That's a Facebook.
Yeah, now Facebook problem. YouTube they wouldn't call. That hold on, let me see. That was very weird. Hold on, let me try for Ada again. Okay. Yeah, Facebook is off. That's weird. All right, Facebook is off. I don't know why, but it's off. All right, so we just get for end. Okay, let me just what them call this. The one the way they watch me on Facebook. Unfortunately, Facebook just go off. YouTube is still going on. All right, Ajibujalo say Mr. Kabo passing the 20 indicator is not all. The ambassador said it was also contingent on holding a free, fair, transparent, and credible election. Was our elections all of the above? Mr. Kabo.
Can I answer that? Let him show me where it is mentioned on the 20 characters about elections, free and fair elections. I have read you the areas. There are millions of areas. We were asked to choose 20 every year, and they were endorsed by the American government. The compact was founded in 2004. The reason being that Africans presidents, or most of the presidents in the world, not only Africa, some underdeveloped countries, America used to take money and cut and give them, go build a road, go build this, go build that. At the end of the day, they don't do it. Now, you have to put strategies. You have to merit it. You have to win it. Put strategies which they will come and investigate on you or what we call audit you. And when all those situations met the criteria, then they approve you for a compact a compact test. And that's what we have. There are 3 types of compacts. We are operating on MCC, which is the compact test for the 400 million. And we also operating on a threshold compact. And that threshold compact is what Rema mentioned 2 days ago, that they are going to continue with that. That's a special one. They're going to continue with that. That is the threshold compact. Now, the 400 million is the MCC compact. It has its rules and regulations. And out of the 20 criteria, we have 11 criteria. None of elections. Mr. Mankota, I just read that. Nothing was mentioned there about elections. Transparency or elections, whatever.
Unfortunately, the one the way they watch me on Facebook, it seems like they are no longer watching me because of Facebook. Now they the problem, not from we here, because we are still broadcasting. Musa Conte say, Dr. Mankota, why ECSL is failing to publish the entirety of the results to nip this issue in the bud? Yeah, I agree that ECSL is supposed to publish the results, actually. Well, ECSL actually published the result. The results, what they talk about is where APC they demand for making them publish is the RR form. And, I agree simply because, number one, the RR form, these are the forms where every party sign on polling station level, you understand? The ECSL being argue say, then they make an application where you able to upload them forms here. If they argue for say, now because of an extra level, in case they ask them for more evidence, then go able for produce. ECSL should produce that, irrespective of waiting at the circumstances. I know say the reason waiting make the APC ask for this is because we don't have the complete result. We don't have the complete.
Mr. Mankota, let me throw light on that probably, or let me say something about that. There are forms. Tell me something which has been done in the previous elections or in the mandate given to Kone that has not been done in this election. That's what we want to know. Has ever since the elections in Sierra Leone, since 1996, yeah, have we been publishing RRF forms by polling stations? Have we been doing that? Remember, there are also people on the other side of the aisle who are watching Kone to do what is not done, what is not instructed to him. They might sue him too for doing what never happened and what is not constitutional or not, what is not in his handbook of work, of his duties and responsibilities. I just want to know, is there any time it happened?
No, it never happened. But for the sake
so
of
why you think? But so it should not be a force. That's why the guy sit down, because he know the law. He know it's the mandate he has. That's why he sit down. He don't care about what you guys talking about. One, it's never happened. Two, he don't have that mandate. Has never been instituted in anywhere. So why you want to come hold me? There are other people on the aisle, as I tell you, who are waiting for him to do that. They're going to sue him because he breaks the law.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I just believe say, okay, Ajib Jalo say it still come. I say according to the ambassador, they had a clear agreement that election normalcy must be met to be considered for the compact. I think we did not talk about this already, so there is no need for.
Yeah, but we don't see it written down. I read what was written down. I don't know what compromise they have because all the agreements with the compact, everything is there. It's written down how to suspend or terminate a contract. The contract. It's just like a contract, just like we are talking about this contract. What will we do to terminate this contract?
Well, no matter what the circumstance, I just believe say the former ambassador he been go out of step. Yes, I don't say it on me own interest, na me own interest because me na APC, but I mean not left for we get hopeless hopes, you understand? Because this right. What some of them say what did they happen? It against we hope for say, oh, when you see America don't talk and so then they can do something. But when you turn back, the same person will talk, it been there na parliament. It do things with this illegitimate government. So I just say it's a little bit hypocrisy anyway. But in any case, it was very.
Mr. Mankota, you know why you talking about these issues? Sometimes they feel you are talking against APC. It's because you are groomed in America, just like some of us. You went through your educational pursuits in America, and you see what's going on. If you go to Europe, Scandinavia, they don't think like that. They are jumping up the streets. They jumping. We in America, that's where democracy starts, and that's where we don't lie. We look at the facts. We don't support anybody flimsily. So we say what we have to say, and that's it. The truth, but nothing but the truth. And that's what we do. Most of us, not Reynaldo.
Well, I am really been battered. I have been battered for so many years. I don't know at the APC for the past 20 years almost. I have been battered, I have been boxed, I have been this, I have been that. May God just give me the one I like and be president. I will change the system.
I'll campaign for you. I'll campaign for you.
Make I can be president and I will able to change the system by God's power. You know,
you be president under SLPP. Under SLPP.
No, but now APC are the best for be president. The APC are the best place for be president, actually. Well, I just want to thank you, Mr. Cabo, for come. And I also want to thank everybody who are listening to this program today. I know say it's not easy. You know, sometimes when somebody they talk about things where you did against, you will feel say that person they did against you. Well, I have an obligation when I sit down here, or even if I not sit down here as a Sierra Leonean, for always strive towards dignity, trustworthiness, credibility, sincerity, and patriotism. You know me say some because I don't know if you didn't have TPN live. When I've been talking about this, was it 2 days ago, a day ago? I think it was Wednesday, right? When I talk about this, a lot of APC then come after me.
So that's why I told you this guy David Dalrymmer. This David Dalrymmer, he learned very fast, and he joined the APC political party very fast, and he learned all the words he said. They are not outside the context of the APC since. So he learned from there very fast.
Mr. Gabo, the APC party, the APC party is not a monolithic institution. It get diverse opinion because it mean a testament. You understand? A lot of people then when they hear me, if they not sabi me at all, then feel say me not to APC at all because we don't get this culture of division. You know, if you're not APC, you don't get nothing for talk about the SLPP or the government. Forget about the SLPP because it's a political party. But the government, we're actually responsible for the entirety of the country. You know, for talk nothing good about them. That means say you are not APC enough. If you're not SLPP, during the time of the APC government, you know, for talk nothing good about. These are the cultures where we don't embed into the system. So people like we are, you know, what's it they call abnormality? Virus, now they call abnormality in a system. Mean a virus, not the system. Mean a abnormality into the system because I not conform with the culture. For say when APC, what it make you in APC? You get for lie, you get for cheat, you get for manipulate. What it make you SLPP? You get for lie, you get for cheat, you get for manipulate. All them here now in we supposed for conform. Now in them call normalcy. Now normal political environment. When we come in, looking at me on background and looking at me on upbringing, I can't sit down. Then we begin with them go say, wait to. Just yesterday, somebody was calling me not to APC because of this same issue. Now me on forum. He said me not to APC. Me they fight for the SLPP. Now I said no, they fight for the SLPP, bro. I'm fighting for Sierra Leone. What happened when Michael Schellenberg came? I attack him because I not saying an interference. That's when me not to SLPP, me not be APC. Now, when the thing turn, you want me for make a turn, for make a lie. When I talk to you, say me not to APC. I'm sorry. That's how it is. But
in New York here, 2 years back, a very reputable guy meets me. He tells me, he say, boy, you like for talk true. You say we neither could not like you. You say we na APC now for lie and win the election. He tells me point blank. He say we now for lie and win the election. And some of us cannot handle those things. We don't even know how to articulate those lies to make stories.
I know.
Just look at the points. That's why I don't call me Pankeso. Don't call me Pankeso. Because, you know, and they get these laws, they make themselves street laws. I call them street laws. when they can't go to court, they just make them amongst themselves. We are right. They can't go to court. So that's how it is.
Well, hopefully one day, people then go see we method of politicking, and maybe then go say, I think saying that the best route is for go for salon, because salon is too small for them division here where they go, and we just need for be at each other. You know, we expect say in a multi-party democracy, every opinion supposed for be the same, even within a political party, because we are human beings.
Yeah, Mr. Mankota, now, I don't know if you see what is going around since this guy made this remark, this David. The opposition are sending messages or broadcasting now that Maada Bio is compromising 400 million for the people of Sierra Leone as to his own political party, as his own political ego. That is to say, he's safeguarding his presidency and lose 400 million for the people of Sierra Leone. These are the opposition. But this guy was the one who worked for this money. He worked for it, he passed it, instead of they come together and say, let's get it. And they are the people there outside the world making all these riots against, these are one of the aides they are all against. And now, because the guy mentioned that they are going to go, they're going to hold on it, and now they are the people now who trouble. They are the complainants, and now the man is working on in their favor. Instead of saying, yeah, let them hold it. Now they are saying, you see, Maada Bio is making compromising 400 million for the country. He only likes himself for his politics. What kind of people are these? Mr. Mankota, please help me on why this kind of behavior from the APC. But help me to unwind this, because I'm doing a tango.
The fact of the matter here is, maybe Rima actually this for a political reason. There is not a diplomatic reason. Yes, we go say, oh, man, a diplomat just the show waiting in country where they call no. It may come for political reason, and he's gaining the objectives where it be make come for. Unfortunately, I don't think they succeed because not talk no more with they talk. Nobody no get mind for cause riot. Nobody no. In fact, the new ambassador already don't come. The new ambassador already don't go to salon. So yeah, he didn't salon now. He been go see.
I'll follow him.
Yeah,
I'll be following him soon. That animal left already. That dog, he left already.
No, call him dog, please.
Well, because he misbehaved, we cannot call him names so he can leave one side.
He be not left. I think say immediately after that, now they left.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the TPN broadcast, and I hope we'll go soon back next week. Remember, now for subscribe if you didn't know Facebook, do you subscribe now the TPN network. That's now the platform where we the broadcast TPN network. If you didn't know Facebook, WhatsApp, now the same thing. Subscribe now the TPN network. So if you get any question where you want for make we discuss, yeah, you can WhatsApp me that question day. I'll be able for take a look. But at the end of the day, every Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, 12 p.m. Pacific. And Mr. Kabo, thank you very much for Canada program.